The Sunday Times rich list is out. Rishi Sunak's family is worth a cool £500 million. Rock superstar Elton John is still standing with a personal wealth of £450 million, worth every penny. We love Elton. And cheesy love song specialist Ed Sheeran is valued at £300 million. What do all those girls see in him? But as my brilliant colleague Tom Harwood points out on Twitter today, for the first time in 14 years, the number of billionaires on the Sunday Times rich list has fallen to 171. This is, he says, a policy failure. Well, Tom Harwood is absolutely right, and let me explain why. Of course, it's very sad that we live in a world, and indeed a country, where one person can drive around in a gold-plated Rolls-Royce, whilst another barely has a roof over their head. But the great misunderstanding of some on the left is that the way that you help those at the bottom is somehow to attack the wealthy. Now, that may seem like a sensible idea on paper, but I'm afraid history tells us it just doesn't work. It's my view that by scaring off billionaires and creating an environment unwelcoming to those who make something of their lives, who take risks and who work hard, we're shooting ourselves in the foot, making ourselves poorer and killing the goose that lays the golden eggs. It's crazy that you have very rich and very poor, but we've tried alternatives, including many communist regimes that through history have bankrupted countries and seen the poorer get poorer. Transferring to a market economy has seen countries in Eastern Europe and across Asia lift billions of people out of poverty. Capitalism is not perfect, it's unequal, it needs to be controlled and kept in check, but it works. And when calibrated correctly and allowed to do what it's designed to do, capitalism delivers for all. Now, before you think that I want a society of haves and have-nots, far from it, I believe in taxation, and it's got to be high enough to deliver great public services and offer support to those less fortunate, but not so high that it impacts investment, economic growth, and sees a mass exodus of the well-heeled. Remember, these days, the rich are mobile. So bashing the wealthy, inspiring them to live in other places, might make a good political headline. It might feel like just revenge on people with swimming pools and helicopter pads. And it might even win some cynical politicians a few votes. But the painful truth is that we need rich people, and we're lucky to have them. We need their tax income, we need their investment, we need the businesses they create, we need the innovation that they are behind, and we need them to go shopping in this country. The VAT alone on a top-level Rolls-Royce, designed and built by British workers in Britain, is upwards of £100,000. The VAT on one Rolls-Royce. So a rich person buys a posh car and we get 100 grand straight into the nation's coffers. And you want to get rid of these people? How does that work? Yes, they've got to pay their share, absolutely, but in most cases, it's a great myth that they don't. In figures relating to 2019, the wealthiest 1% of the population, that's right, the wealthiest 1% paid 30% of all income tax, and the wealthiest 10% paid 60% of all taxes. A brave chancellor would give up all of that. Well, the billionaires that we've already lost have taken their money with them. Well done, everyone. With the highest tax burden since the Second World War, and with the prospect of an incoming Labour government who have a cultural hatred of aspiration and wealth, it looks like Britain's futile and self-destructive war on wealth will continue. But by impoverishing the nation, it will hurt the poorest the most. A rich country with a massive gross domestic product and with rich people in it spending their money is one which can deliver for all. That is what prosperity looks like, as we saw in Britain and America in the 1980s, with a massive expansion of the middle class and millions of working class people daring for the first time ever to dream big for their own lives. There are plenty of high-profile progressives who love to go around wearing T-shirts that say Eat the rich. Well, they'll be eating their words when we see the consequences of scaring off wealth creators. It's time to love bomb rich people. We need them and we need their money. The current war on wealth is nothing less than a race to the bottom. Will the last rich person to leave Britain please switch off the lights before you go? Dark times lie ahead unless we change course.